Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Pitstick at soulproof.com, talking about evidence that we are spiritual beings, beings of energy, and now talking about religious and spirituality teachings. In the last video, saying that God is not a big, vengeful, wrathful guy in the sky. So what is he? Well, one of the best, or what is it rather, since God is certainly beyond gender. And that's why we use he, she, and it interchangeably. Well, one of the best descriptions of Creator I've ever heard came from the book Destiny of Souls by Michael Newton, PhD, founder of Spiritual Regressions. And one of his female clients, who was one of the most advanced souls he had ever worked with, described oneness, the presence, as this source is called, as, quote, "It is massive but soft, powerful yet gentle. There is a breath, a whisper of sound, so pure. The sound creates all, including light and energy. The sound holds the structure and makes it move, shifting and undulating, creating everything. It is a reverberating bell, then a high-pitched, pure humming, like an echo of a mother, full of love, singing to her child." Now, what a beautiful description. And if people learned this description of God, how many of us would feel closer? I have talked with numerous atheists and agnostics who understandably reject any notion of God as taught by most churches. What thinking person wouldn't? And so it's important that we get this more pure notion of what God is, what Creator is. We look at the Aramaic often, the original language at the time of Jesus that was behind these teachings, but has been changed then in its translation to Hebrew, Greek, and then into English. And so Neil Douglas Klotz, PhD, who I interviewed on my radio show Solutions, and I were discussing this, and he says, quote, "The root words for God are Eloha or Alaha from the Hebrew Elohim. All these words mean unity, sacred unity, or one beingness. The Jewish or Aramaic notion of the divine is not a being sitting somewhere, someplace, as in a room above us, but a unity of which we are all part, of which our being is a part. Both Jesus and the Hebrew prophets before him shared this bigger picture of the divine. That's quite different from our Western conception. Our problem is that when this conception was squeezed through the Greek language and thinking into Western Christianity, only a small part of this meaning was carried across the language bridge. So certainly this makes much more sense. Over the years, I've had numerous older people say that throughout their lives they can never agree with these horrifying descriptions of God, and in their heart of hearts knew that wasn't so. And so it's a case where we need to trust our childhood sensibilities, that inner voice, certainly. So many people get the idea of a being of energy, force, intelligence. I think Star Wars brought people more close to the source of all life than some churches, because people can relate to that more, and that's more an accurate depiction of God. And that's what Nietzsche was talking about, the German philosopher so often quoted for God is dead. As Joseph Campbell describes, Nietzsche was not, he was a very spiritual man himself. He was saying that the local provincial form of God, all these little personified forms that the different religions have and the denominations, that's what's dead. And when that understanding image of God dies, then this greater underlying image of the divine surfaces. So we'll talk more about this. For now, be sure to visit our website, soulproof.com. Avail yourselves of all the free articles that come from the book and the documentary Soul Proof, and thank you for sharing it with others.